Hey ladies, it's Connor here at Booty Camp, and I'm super excited actually today because I have with me, this is Cara. The start is kind of your background and why you came to Booty Camp, or maybe where were you before you came to us, and we'll go from there.
Okay, I suppose I've been one of those people who's struggled with my weight my whole life, but I would generally say that I had a pretty healthy diet. I didn't eat a lot of takeouts or junk food. I probably just ate the wrong foods, and I always had some element of physical activity in my life, but yet it just didn't seem to really help with the weight. Like, I think I was fit enough, but I just was heavy, you know? And when I had my daughter 4 years ago, then I really started to prioritize her needs over mine, and suddenly the weight crept up and up and up. And I found myself this time last year weighing just over 200 pounds, which what is that in stone? I don't know, 15 stone, 14 stone, something like that. And tried various things, tried various kind of diet programs, and tried, running 10Ks, or training for 10Ks and stuff to try and shift the weight, and a little bit would come off here and there, but nothing compared to the amount of work it took to try and lose a few pounds.
For sure, And this was, it was September, wasn't it?
September was when I found Booty Camp. So it was
a year.
I was kind of, with my daughter, I was sort of 3 years of trying, like stopping and starting and trying and giving up, and just really, really frustrated and kind of not knowing what to do. And I suppose when I saw the Facebook ad for Booty Camp, which normally I would never click on a Facebook ad, but what appealed to me was that the Booty Camp program was only 6 weeks. It was really cheap, and it was the first thing I'd seen that combined diet and exercise. And I thought, well, I tried diet or exercise, but I'd never tried something that did both. And I was pretty desperate, so I thought, well, I can afford to lose €50 to try something new. So that's where I was when I started in September.
I'd love to get into some of the things that you've done in the past as well, but just so we can give the ladies a little bit of context, Cara, of perhaps how far you've come, and then we'll go through the journey as well. So over the past almost a year now, you said you've been able to lose almost 50 pounds, or you've kind of...
I'm on 50 pounds,
so that's actually a pretty amazing transformation.
I mean, I was hoping, I remember at the start, I thought, well, if I could keep doing this until I lose like 30, 35 pounds, I'd be really happy, and that would get me into a BMI that was healthy, but like the weight just keeps coming off because I'm just eating the way I was taught to eat in Booty Camp, and it's really easy, and I really enjoy the food that I'm eating. So hey, if the weight wants to keep coming off, that's fine. Sure. So we'll go with it. The
nutrition aspect went really well. How did you manage with the workouts then?
I found the workouts really tough, and I was really glad I was doing them at home in the privacy of my, I couldn't do a plank, but the sweat would be pouring off me to try and do them, but they were so short that you would just go, okay, I can do this. It's only 15, 20 minutes or something. And so you say, okay, I'll give it my best. And you would say in the videos, just give this your best because you're nearly done and everything, and that would help me. So they were great, I think, for the place I was in, which was very heavy, very embarrassed. Wouldn't have felt comfortable maybe going to class in the state I was in. And then once I moved on from that and I felt body confident and everything, then I started to go to classes and do like Pilates and kettlebells and stuff, and had the strength and the confidence.
And you're enjoying these new classes that you
I love them,
Like, here's a really good question too that I just want to ask you is, how have you found the maintenance process? Because I know you said you want to lose a little bit more, but really you've done really well, and it's been almost a year now. And for most people, the weight loss process or whatever goal it is, or getting in shape or fit or whatever, is manageable for most people because you have the targets, you have the scales, you have things you're working towards. How have you managed to maintain? Has it just become a part of your life, or has it been a struggle to maintain, or how have you kind of done that?
In terms of maintaining the kind of the food and the exercise,
and your progress, exactly. So obviously, to maintain your progress, you've had to maintain your nutrition plan and your workouts. So how have you done that? Is just your motivation's really high? Is it factors in your life? Is because you feel much better, or?
Well, I think it's now because because I look at those foods that I used to eat and I know they'll make me sick, and that has a huge effect on you, you know, when you just know that, oh, that piece of cake is going to make me so sick. So that makes it easier to keep up. I don't know, I'm not like, I would describe myself as a person with very low willpower.
Really?
And so I can't say, well, I've just got loads of willpower or anything, because I don't. But I'm just happier and healthier, and I like being able to like look in the mirror and feel good and have muscle and fit into size 10 clothes and all of those things, and those are keeping me motivated to do it. And the other, I suppose the most important thing, and the thing I've found with friends who have tried this and with great success, but then maybe have gotten off it and put all the weight back, is that I've completely accepted that this is the way I'll be eating for the rest of my life.
Wow, that's a really good mindset.
Yeah, because I think if I went back to the way I used to eat in any way, I would just put all the weight back on, you know? So I think just kind of saying, well, this is the way I'm going to eat, and this is the way I'm going to exercise, you know, this is life now. And that's fine. It's great life, you know?
That's really good,
yeah.
Because then you don't have those deprivation thoughts either. You don't. 'Cause a lot of people may have them too. It's like, oh, I have to eat this way, and then they start to feel down about themselves because they just feel too deprived.
Yeah.
So I really like that mindset where you've just said to yourself, you just kind of made a decision.
Yeah.
This is the way I'm going to be. But you were really motivated from the start. Just from speaking to you, I know that from the way you were, you were just super, super motivated. So I think that's what got you through those initial few weeks. Did you ever have any periods where you had something happen in your life where you had to go off plan, or did you ever have any down periods, or was it just smooth sailing for you?
Well, I think the times when you slip up on diet and exercise are high stress periods. I had 6 months of my life where I was running for a local election, which was the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life, and physically demanding, emotionally demanding, and I fully expected that that would be the time where I'd be tempted to scoff a few cookies, or something. But that was one thing I said, was I'm not going to let this stressful period in my life ruin all the hard work I'd done for the 6 months prior, and ruin and put back on all the weight and everything. So I just said to myself, for that time period, my goal was just to maintain my weight loss, but not put any pressure on myself to keep losing weight. And so I just said, I'm not going to beat myself up if I get on the scale this week and I haven't lost a pound, because I have enough going on in my life.
Sure.
But I'm going to keep trying to eat healthy and make smart choices to keep it. And then I kept losing weight,
6 months that you were running.
Yeah.
So it was a long time, and you were eating out a lot at that period.
Yeah, and there's pressure to drink. There's events and everybody's drinking and everything. So that's tricky. But I mean, probably it's better actually if you're not drinking. You're not gonna like put your foot in your mouth and say something stupid. A lot of sparkling waters when I went out to pubs and stuff, sparkling water and lemon, and it's easy to eat out, really, soups and salads, and you stay away from the bread bowl, and so that kind of thing. Or you say, oh, I splashed out on a dinner, so that's my treat dinner for the week, and I'm going to be good for the rest of the week and stuff. So it was easy. And I was kind of saying to you on the phone, I actually I was in touch with a lot of other people who were running too, and it was funny how I could kind of outlast them in terms of the canvassing, because I didn't need to stop and eat as often. So I could just keep going all day without really having many breaks or food breaks or anything, because I wasn't being controlled by food and hunger. And it's funny because a lot of people ask me, what have I done or whatever, and one of the first things they ask me is like, well, how much did it cost? Because they assume to have such dramatic effect, you have to spend a fortune. And I suppose that's why I really wanted to come here today, is because I feel like, God, I literally only spent €1 per pound that I lost, which is nothing. And I feel like I owe you so much, because I've spent almost nothing, and I've had this amazing life transforming experience. So thank you so much for the experience.
It was just fortunate that you found us, but you did all the work, and that's what we say to our ladies as well, is we do have information that might be great for you, but you really have to put in the work too. So it's kind of like a team effort.
Yeah, but that's what you need. Like, you
so
do need that. And I needed the education. I didn't have the right education about food, and having that education is really, really valuable for me.
Awesome.
You know,
I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
And one final question, Cara, as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We've been having a little bit of trouble with some people contacting us because they're a little bit apprehensive about trying something new, and you know, there's so many different things out there, and there's lots of these scams, as people will call them, as well. So we kind of don't want to fall into that category. It's one of the reasons we like to do these videos, just to show people some of the successes that we've had and things. But maybe if you can maybe imagine people who are out there watching this and who are thinking about joining up to booty camp and are a little bit apprehensive, what's something you might say to someone like that in that position?
Well, obviously nothing to lose, like other than maybe €50 or whatever, but that's kind of a small fee relative to what some of the other companies or gyms or whatever are asking for. So there's that, but it's short, like it's 6 to 8 weeks or whatever, you know. That's not like, anything is worth trying. If you want to lose weight and get healthy, anything is worth trying for 6 to 8 weeks. They're not like, it's not a year-long commitment or anything. So it's worth giving it a shot. And I think the fact that, as far as I can tell, it's the only thing out there that is combining diet and exercise makes it really, really powerful, you know. And you're not going to get that if you go and just do exercise classes or just go and do a diet program. You absolutely need both in your life.
I agree completely.
So, and I suppose a lot of people would tell me that they are embarrassed to go to group classes because they don't feel fit, and so this is particularly ideal for people who maybe if they have really small children and they just can't get out of the house. It's so easy to do these workouts in 20 minutes. It doesn't take up much of your life, you know. So I just think you've nothing to lose, and everybody who wants to lose weight should be trying it. It's just amazing, you know, men and women.
Perfect.
So,
well, I really appreciate that, Cara. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming down and chatting with us today. And your story was so inspirational. Like, I can't believe that you've been able to get such amazing results. Like, I know the program helped, but it really came down to your motivation as well, and especially through the stressful period that you had. So, you know, Cara's one of our poster childs here. You're gonna put her up everywhere. And big
you
inspiration.
can have my election posters.
Brilliant. So maybe we'll leave it there for today, Cara. And as I said, hopefully Cara's story inspires you. And Cara actually did our online class, and we've got classes all over Kildare and Dublin. But if you want to try one of our classes, we've got details on our website, bootycamp.ie. So thanks again, Cara,
Thanks, Connor.
and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, definitely.